Table 9-3, the pericardium there's many layers that make up the pericardium, which is the sac for the heart. To start easy, right now we have what's called the epicardium. If you see that layer right there, the epicardium is going to hover right on the outside of the heart. Synonymously called, the epicardium is also called the serous pericardium visceral layer, or visceral layer of the serous pericardium. You can kind of use them interchangeably. So epicardium and visceral layer of serous pericardium are the same thing. You can call them either one. Now, this serous pericardium, let's watch. So here's the visceral layer. If you follow that on the outside of the heart, do you see how it folds on itself? And here's a blow-up image right here. So it folds on itself and then lines the inside of this outer layer, which we'll talk about in just a second. But this outside, when it kind of folds on itself and comes out more outer, we're gonna call that the parietal layer of serous pericardium. So right on the outside of the heart, you have visceral layer of serous pericardium. Here you have the parietal layer of the serous pericardium. And then on the very outside, you have the fibrous pericardium. Now, to understand how that's pinned on a human heart, make sure you look at my cadaver videos just to see how that comes out, because usually the outside of the sac would be fibrous pericardium. The inside of the outer sac would be the serous pericardium parietal layer, and then right on the heart we're either going to have epicardium or visceral layer of serous pericardium. Now, in between these two layers of serous pericardium, we're going to call that the pericardial cavity. And then on the heart, we also have some layers. So anything lined on the inside of the heart is going to be the endocardium. Anything lined in the middle, that's the muscle layer, we're calling the myocardium. And then the epicardium, again, is synonymous with that visceral layer of serous pericardium. So whatever makes sense to your brain. The key is that your teacher should ask you, name this layer. When they're asking for a layer, that's when you're going to give these things we're talking about. But like endocardium can line other structures of the heart. Myocardium can also be this interventricular septum. So the key is the teacher will say, name this layer, and then you'll know they're talking about one of these things that we talked about.